So, something a little different for today's game. This is called Blue Room. It's kind of like an escape room. We're not trying to escape, we're trying to turn a computer on. It's just a brief find the things to solve the puzzle type game. It's very, very short. It was a submission to a game jam called Patch Notes, as you can see, which is a game jam, as far as I can understand it, that's kind of themed around the finishing something that you kind of are sort of working on, trying something that you haven't tried before, learning something new. Basically, something that's you've got a rough idea about, and you kind of just get it done for the jam. Not create something release worthy or whatever. Anyway, that's my limited understanding of the jam, and this game was kind of made for that, and it's like an escape room. You click on the things and you try and undo the things. It was made in 3 days for the jam, and it's quite good. But the reason why today's something a little bit different is that I'm actually going to finish the game for you. So if you are, if you don't want spoilers, either don't watch or come and sort of play the game along with me. You can pause the video, try and sort of solve an issue, and then see if I've solved it in the same amount of. Well, if you get stuck, you can come and look at the video and sort of see what the resolution is. I think a lot of people got stuck with this, and the devs kind of want more input into how they designed the game. So I thought I would give my thoughts on that, and that's why I want to finish it. Um, and yeah, I mean, I have played it, I have finished it, so I'll be trying to talk about the steps that I took and the difficulties that I had for the developer's sake, and then just to go through it and just have a look at game design. So I'll give critiques while I go through it as well. So let's run the game and jump in, and we'll take a look. It is, I think, Godot. I think that was the engine that we're using. So what it is, let's look at their intro. Blue Screen Studio. So yeah, so there's some music. I just want to see what the engine is. Yeah, it's Godot. I thought I recognized that little progression line. So let's max the screen out. Check that we're still watching okay. Right, so the first thing that we notice in terms of critique is that there is no sound controls or anything, or no other menu options, no quality of life sound controls. So we can't really mess about with the music volumes and things like that, even if we wanted to. But that's, I mean, again, this is the context of this is a roughly hacked together game for a game jam, about roughly hacking together ideas to actually get something finished. So obviously it's not going to have any of those kind of quality of life controls, but if I had to make a recommendation, to take this game to the next level, working on it, make sure you got those quality of life controls in there for the players, because there's people who like to affect the music volume or turn it off and let just the game sounds, those kinds of things. As a general sort of game dev idea, it's a good idea to have that as an option. Right, so we are entering the blue room, and this is the view that we have. We can't turn around and look anywhere. So we have the computer, there's a sound system and a keyboard, a briefcase that is locked, some pictures on the wall. We have an inventory button which is currently empty, and we have a couple of drawers, and this is what I was confronted with. So we obviously are trying to turn on the computer, so the first thing I like to do is just take a look at the computer, and it wants a password. So I mean, it's on but not accessible or anything like that. So we are needing to find the password, which is 3 numbers and a letter. For some reason it wrote in my head as 3 letters and a number, and I was very confused before I rechecked it. So the first thing I checked were these drawers, in which there is a pencil. Click on the pencil, it gets added to our inventory. Nice little animation there. Nothing else in that drawer, and nothing else in that drawer. So that is all we have. The next thing I looked at was this notepad. I thought, oh, notepad. Oh, okay, something's been turned off. And I've read enough little sort of teen mystery stories and those kinds of things to know that what you need to do is grab a pencil and drag it to the pad to scrape on it. And that didn't work, and that messed with me a lot. And then I was also wondering what this eye thing came up, so I had a look at that, and it just lets you look at the pencil. So that confused me, and I didn't know what to do with the pad, so I left it alone for a while. And that'll be significant in a bit. Next thing to look at is the CD. So I click on that and you get a CD. And I thought, oh, let's look at the CD, and it says Mystery Melody 3, which was fine. And I thought, okay, not very helpful. And then I dragged the CD onto the CD player, and it was 4 weird notes. And I thought, okay, that's clearly a code of some sort. So I was like, okay, we're onto something. How do I do that? Do I have to find notes or something like that, and some way, and work out the code from that? But then I saw this on the floor, and I thought, oh, is this significant? And this is like, no, this is just number code. I mean, it's just assigning numbers to the letters of the alphabet in the normal order, so it wasn't particularly special. So I thought, okay, I couldn't put in my inventory or anything like that, so I didn't think about it. So I thought, okay, well, what's this now? So now we have a keyboard. And I was like, okay. And then I pressed it and it was like, oh, okay, these sound like the notes from the note. And this was quite difficult. It would have been nice if there was another bit of a visual display to show how to do it. But I think if I remember correctly, it was like this. No. Okay, so yeah, it was those were the notes, and it was quite hard to line them up. I found that very difficult. I think I have a relatively good musical ear for tones and things like that, so that's actually quite a difficult puzzle. But it has in fact worked and opened a little key box over there, so we can click on it. Also, it would be nice if it had gone like ding or something to go, you've succeeded, because I think people might not notice that the key box is open. I suppose you can't go anywhere else, so you're not likely to move away without seeing it, but still a little bit of, a little endorphin surge creating sound of success would have been nice. So now we have a key. We grabbed the key. I was like, I got the key. Clicked it over there, and yep, it opened it, and success. And I thought, brilliant, this is going to solve it. And it came up with that, and that did not help me very much. And I was like, let me read the next page, and there is no next page. It is literally just one cover. And it would be nice if there was something more in there. Obviously, for a very small game, not an option, but for a bigger game, I think it was kind of a pain to have fought with the stupid keyboard sounds and tones, which I actually fought with for a while, and then got the key, and all it did was use this bit of paper, which I thought was, at the time, I hadn't figured anything else out. Use this bit of paper. Anyway. But anyway, we have progressed a little bit. We clicked there, and then I looked at these pictures, and I clicked on a picture, and I was like, that's interesting. Is that a key or something? And I clicked on it again, and we looked at the back, and I was like, haha, okay. So we click here, and we click on the back of this one, and I was like, oh, that looks like a 5. I click on the back of that one, and it's like, oh, it's a 5. So that was a 5. So I thought, okay, so that's part of the code. Clearly, we have a 5. But how does that now work with anything else? What is the plan here? What is the story? And then while I was messing about and I was fighting with it, and I tried some code ideas and nothing worked. And then I found what was the actual puzzle problem, is that if you click this up here and you drag on it, nothing happens. But if you drag on it down here, it goes scribble, 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 and some writing appears on it. And now that, I think, is the biggest problem I have with this. That was the biggest fault, is it should have been able to drag the pencil up here, not just on the bottom there. That really threw me for a loop for a while. I knew the solution to this problem, but it just didn't really work. I thought it wasn't the solution because I just didn't know that you couldn't do it while the notepad was in front of you. So if I had to recommend something to the devs, it would be, allow the pencil to scribble in while it's up here, or something like that, or shrink the thing away and then do it if the person drags the pencil onto the notepad while it's up. Anyway, so now we have a code. So we have briefcase plus CD plus pictures equals that thing, and then of course the significant notifier here is that these are the stars of the password. So we know that the briefcase was, let's have a look at it. Adventures of Betty Part 2. The color was like a little bit dark, and I was like, okay, so that's a 2, and the CD we had a look at, and this is Mystery Melodies 3, so I don't know, we were looking for numbers, so I was like, oh, okay, 3, and then there was a 5 there, so it was 2 plus 3, 2, 3, 5, and 2 and 3 and 5 is 10, so it was A, B, C, D. Obviously I knew that this had to be this thing, and 10 is a J, so it's 2, 3, 5, J. So we click on this, we go 2, 3, 5, J, press enter, and we succeeded, and then the PC fell over and we said damn it, but that's the end of the game. So that was the problem solved, the puzzle solved, and I think a nice little escape room type of thing. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was a good puzzle solving problem, except for that one little, what I'm thinking of as an interface bug, where you couldn't really interact with the pad in what I felt was the intuitive way. It might just have been me, and I'd love some comments in the channels if it was just me, if people solved it better than I did. I'm curious to see if my brain just works differently. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and if you like me reviewing indie games, which is what we do around here, and in particular, comment and tell me how you guys solved the puzzle, preferably in my YouTube chat, so I get the engagement there. But I mean, guys can comment here on the itch.io forum if you want. Yeah, I'm not going to give too many other critiques. I think the game looked good. I think the sounds are absolutely fine. Just a pity about the lack of sound controls. Gameplay was pretty good, except for that one sort of minor issue. The difficulty of the music puzzle was really interesting. It wasn't impossible. I don't think it needed to be reviewed too much. Maybe a few more visual clues matching to the puzzle. I don't know. It extended time playing the game. So maybe if the game gets bigger, that could be made a little bit easier, just so it doesn't become a stalling point for the players. And all in all, I mean, obviously this is a tiny little game that's for the jam, but it would have a better idea to have some kind of lore behind why we're trying to get into this, why it's so urgent, why we're willing to spend this time fighting with it, and working out puzzles from things around us. It's always nice to have a storyline to give us that flag to rally behind, to know what we're doing there. And nevertheless, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. Come and play it if you have skipped my spoilers of it. Otherwise, come and give the devs some love. And yeah, really, really good game. And thank you very much for watching. And I hope this helped the devs with the kind of information that they were looking for. My own little opinion in it. And also regular viewers of the channel, if you liked me going all the way through the game. I normally don't go all the way through the game. I normally just show enough of the gameplay that people can come in and sort of comfortably play the game, and I don't like giving spoilers and things like that. But considering the short nature of the game, the way people were having difficulties with it, the way the devs actually asked for input and how the game flowed and things like that, I thought it was a good idea. But if you guys like to see me play more of a game, or try and complete at least one ending of a game or something like that, let me know in the comments. Tell me if that's what you want me to do. I don't want to take attention away from games. I prefer it to be the reason why people go and play it, rather than people just watching me to see a gameplay, to see the storyline and things like that, which is obviously not particularly good for the devs. So it's a bit of a discussion I have with myself, and I'd love you guys to sound off on it. Hit up those YouTube comments, even if it's just to say hi, because I like to hear from you guys who watch. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.